Ravens lose Marcus Peters and Gus Edwards to season-ending ACL injuries. Hot news or not news?
It's hot news, man. They're almost out of running back. This is the team that wants to run the ball more than any other team in the league, and they're down to their third or fourth string running back. It's tough. Running backs can be found. They can get guys. There's guys out there they can still sign. Latavius Murray's out there. You guys are talking about Mark Ingram. They've already got Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman. But none of those guys are part of their program, and none of those guys were guys they were counting on. And if they liked those guys better than the guys who got hurt, they would have already been on the team. They have a problem.
Yeah, Dan, it's super hot, right? It's about 1,000 degrees hot up in Baltimore right now, and they need running backs to help Lamar Jackson out. And much like you said, they don't have anybody. They just don't. They want to run the football. That is what the foundation of the Baltimore Ravens, that's what they are. They run the football down your throat, and they play solid defense. They lose the top dude on defense in the secondary, and Marcus Peters. Yeah. He's accounted for 31 interceptions over the last 5 seasons. I think that is like highest in the NFL in that time span. So this is
Dan,
extremely
do you agree
hot.
with me? Are the Browns by far the best team in the AFC North?
Browns are the best team in the AFC North, but I don't know about by far, because Max's point he was just making about track record with the Steelers and Ravens is not to be overlooked. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. John Harbaugh's only had one. These are guys that can figure out their problems. The Browns look great, but they've proven a lot less than those other two teams have.
Okay.
Hot news or not news? T.J. Watt agrees to that 4-year, $112 million extension.
Take that L,
took
man.
it,
Just
Key. I
take
took
the L.
Hold that. So hot news or not news? $112 million extension, 4 years for T.J. Watt.
It's hot news. I mean, this is one of the best players in the whole league on either side of the ball. So it's important that they got this done. He was very cautious about this contract. He did not participate in training camp practices, didn't want to put himself at risk. But he was back there this week, and obviously he thought things were going well, and this is the kind of deal that makes him happy, tells the other guys on the team we're gonna make our guys happy. And if you look at the structure of this deal, he got one over on the Steelers. The Steelers don't guarantee money in contracts beyond year one. In this one, they did. And the only guy on the team they've ever done that for before is Ben Roethlisberger.
See, it's not news to me. It may be news to newsmakers and to the fan base. It's not news. The guy's going to play. He was going to play this year, and they were going to eventually give him his money at some point in time. Whenever you have the defensive coordinator, and Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, you never hear assistant coaches talk about contracts in the public, especially in the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. So the moment that they talked about his contract and his holdout, I'm like, oh, Pittsburgh going to give him the money for sure.
They're going to give him whatever he wants.
Hot news or not news, Jay?
No, not news. I mean, this is why Ben Roethlisberger gave up money, right? For them to sign guys like T.J. Watt.
That's why you do it. Said it.
That's why you do it.
Came out and said it. Keyshawn, JWill and Max is presented by Progressive Insurance. We're playing Hot News or Not News with Dan Graziano. Michelle Tafoya reported that Dak Prescott will have an MRI every 2 weeks to keep an eye on his shoulder. Hot news or not news?
Not news. I mean, they're sticking with what worked, right? Like they did this during training camp. They told us it was routine. It was just to assess where things were with the shoulder. Everything that they told us in training camp looked last night like it was true. So I think we can keep taking the Cowboys at their word on this, and they're going to manage this issue in a way that makes sure that it doesn't get worse.
Yeah, it's not news to me. I believe in their medical staff in Dallas. I played there. Jim Maurer, the head trainer, along with Greg and those guys over there.
Me too.
Dr. Cooper and that whole staff. I'm just like, okay, that's fine. I know you're telling the truth, because think about this. There's not, and Jay, you know this by being in the NBA, there's not a lot of players around leagues that go to other teams and trust their doctors. The Dallas Cowboys, Dan, as you know, are one of those teams that people actually fly in to meet with their medical
staff. Like the Phoenix
staff.
Suns. People fly to Phoenix to get their opinion on different things. Not news. I'm with you guys.
Yeah, it's not news. They're keeping an eye
protocol.
on
That's what you do.
Maybe it'd be news if they just didn't look. It wouldn't be news, but it should be if they didn't look
good
at it at all.
nugget.
That'd be negligence.
Good nugget from Michelle, but not shocking or anything like that.
That's right. That was better news. What Keith just said about the Dallas medical staff is more news than them checking on him every 2 weeks. Hot news or not news? How about this one, Dan? Dak Prescott's Week 1 performance.
I mean, it's hot news. Like we talked about this all summer. What's he going to be like? Is he going to be okay coming off the ankle? Is the shoulder going to be okay? He threw for 400 yards. I mean, yeah, they lost the game, but what was not to like about Dak Prescott's performance last night? I don't think he's going to throw the ball that much. Tampa Bay's got a monster run defense, and obviously they went in with a plan that the only way to try and beat them was to throw it. But the fact that he was able to do it at the level he did is very encouraging for the Cowboys.
This is one of those other hot news 200 degrees, right? Because 2,000 degrees, because much like Dan said, we all wanted to see what he was. We heard he was doing well. He said he was doing well. He looked well throwing the ball on certain video clips. But until you get those live bullets go to flying, you got to duck and dodge and run and slide and do some of the things that he was capable of doing last night. We had no idea. So it's certainly encouraging in his hot news. And I'll remind you guys, and I'll say it again, Tampa Bay is going to see Dallas at the end of the year. You watch what I tell you.
You know me. I had my white doctor jacket on last night. I was all in the video about the ankle. How's he moving? Is he planting right? I mean, everything looked good. I mean, for me, there was no drop-off. It actually seems like Dak got better than where he was last year before he got hurt.
Yeah, I'll say hot news, but not because, like, I expected Dak to be Dak, right? If anything, that was like the best version of him. That's the most you could hope for, I think.
I don't know if that's the best version of Dak. I think he can still get a lot better,
well,
which is
maybe
scary.
If he can get better than that, that's saying something because he played really, really, really well. Really well. Hot news.
And that interception was not.
Gotta make that catch, Key.
Catch the
Gotta make
damn
that catch,
ball,
man.
Hot news or not news?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.